Hello, everybody. I want to do some short segments on praise reports, faith walks, miracles that I am aware of or that have happened to me and I have walked through. I think we need to be encouraged. I think we get in the daily grind of life sometimes and it can be discouraging. We get tired. Maybe we've got to be at work tomorrow and the kids were sick. They threw up in the bed in the middle of the night and ran a fever, and you just have too much on your hands, and life gets in the way of our remembrance. It happens. So I want to do some quick segments and just share some miracles, faith walk, encouragements for you for your day. I'm going to start with the story of what happened to me. It was 2008. I had been through some really, really bad stuff with my family lineage. There had been a 30-year civil war with a Christian family. The older generation was not going to get along with each other, and there was nothing we could do about it. And so I, being in a Christian family that warred and just abandoned each other. By the time it was 2008, I realized as I listened to a study tape that I was really angry with God. Was thinking to myself without realizing it, God, if you knew better, you wouldn't have put me in that family. Now, if we're honest with ourselves, there are times where we've all had those thoughts. So I had to come to terms with my faith and decide, do I really want to get over being mad at God, or do I just want to keep going my own way and just be upset? So I decided, I'm going to trust you, Lord. But I told him, I'll trust you, but don't take my health. I'd always enjoyed good health. Don't take my health. And the Holy Spirit said to me in a soft voice, look to Job, Vicky. You know, Job, there was a wager between Satan and God, and Satan said he loves you because he's rich and he's blessed. And if you take it away from him, he will deny you. And the wager was on, and Job lost everything, including for a space and time, his health. So the Holy Spirit was not going to lie to me. This is 2008, because in 2015, I would be exposed to mold. MOLD, mold. 4 weeks before the actual major exposure happened, I was looking at a heat storm in the sky and I was saying, God, do people really realize that this is you showing off? You're so wondrous. And the Holy Spirit grabbed me. And the Holy Spirit said to me, look beyond the storm, Vicky. It'll be okay. You know the Son and you know the Holy Spirit. You're going to be dealing directly with the Father. The Father is on the move. The Father is on the move. A friend was there and looked at me and said, where did you go? I said, you're not going to believe this. 4 weeks later, the exposure happened, the occurrence happened, and all hell broke loose. So then I was sick and I went down. And as I went down, God told me, get up and move. So I got up and I started moving. And I went through the rigors of trying to find the right medical training. For those of you, if you think that you've been exposed to mold, understand that the medical community is not trained properly in how to help victims. You'll have to go get some help off to the side, and you probably should contact me so I can draw the roadmap for you. It's very, very dangerous for some people because my genetics couldn't keep it out. If you are a person whose genetics can't keep it out, it internalizes and it is a massive problem. So God tells me, get up. And I got up and I began advocating. And I was taken through all these different corridors um, supernaturally. And I realized God was bringing me a fleece. I wasn't asking Him regarding a fleece. He was bringing it to me and underscoring, I want you to do this. Keep in mind, I had some other goals and plans for my life that did not include this path. So I began advocating. I wound up advocating all the way to the governor's office. I warned that the unemployment system in Florida, there would be a major collapse. In 2017, I sent Governor Scott, then Governor Scott, a 105-page documented report of failures in Florida systems. And I said, here's a program that I have developed through God Himself downloading it to me. And you need to implement this because you're going to have a catastrophic public failure and you could lose the governor's race in the future because a future administration is going to be affected. Well, as we know, if you live in Florida and you needed unemployment, you stood at that broken door in 2020. And so that prophetic uttering came true. Governor Scott's office neglected. They refused the whole report. I couldn't do anything about it. I'm not here to talk about that so much as I am to talk about what God did through me through these circumstances. And what makes that so special and so awesome is that during this time that I was accomplishing all this, I had a massive amount of blood work done by my Christian doctor who is a toxicity specialist and has saved my life. And he called me and he said, Vicki, I've got your reports here. And I said, okay, what is my report? And he said, your brain is infected. Your adrenal system is so broken down that it doesn't even produce your hormones. You basically have no life or energy in your cells. And my VEGF levels were at 0, which is a form of no oxygenation to your veins. He said, you are medically non-functional. You were on your feet by the grace of God. And I said to him, thank you for your call. I was taking care of my dad at that time. I had him at the eye doctor and I had to go in. They were calling me, Miss Lee, we need you in here. I had my hands full. So I thanked him for his call. I currently have written 2 books and I speak to you. If you've heard my recordings, you know that I'm lucid, I'm with it. Yet I have flunked brain scans called neuroquant. There's a part of your brain that is affected by this illness. And my doctor tells me you should be in dementia right now. So when the Holy Spirit said to me during that heat storm, look beyond the storm, it'll be okay. God allowed me to go through what Job went through. And perhaps he and Satan made a wager. That's what happened in Job. Perhaps he said, just allow me to do this to her and she won't want you. And God said, go ahead. And then when it happened and it was allowed to happen, um, God just swooped in, said, get up, and has supernaturally guarded me against my own medical record. Now, as I sit here, there is something technology has brought out on the market. It's an air purifier. And my doctor says, if you'll sit with this purifier, it's going to heal your brain, Vicki. So it is sitting in my office as I speak to you. I look at it and I marvel at technology. We'll see what my next brain scan says. I do know this. As long as there is a purpose for me in my life, God Himself will not allow me to be taken on any level as long as His purpose is needed in my life. Keep that in mind for you too. God has and is and will continue to work the miracles in your own life to preserve you for His purpose. I always say He's got you right in the palm of His hand. We're in good hands, aren't we? That whole mold illness that I'm still going through 7 years later, it changed my life. I had goals to go a whole different way. God said, "No, I need you to go through this. I need you to suffer. I need you to go through illness. I need you to go through advocacy because I'm going to use all of this for a later time and a later dispensation." We are fearfully and wonderfully made, and God uses us in ways that He understands. We don't always get it at that time. I thank Him for what He's done in my life. I thank Him for those suffering trenches. That's not always easy to say, but I do. At one point in time, a friend of mine said, "How's your relationship with God?" I said, "Honey, I'm so far in the deep end, I can't get up for air. And so I'm just growing gills supernaturally. And God the Father, He's sitting right here with me." They said, "The Father is on the move. You'll be working with the Father." And boy, did I ever become a friend of God. Whatever you're going through, keep the faith. God is working miracles in your life. The spiritual warfare is powerful, but it's not any more powerful than God and the Trinity, and they really do take care of us. Be encouraged, everybody. Have a wonderful day.